Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been around for a while, but I'm back, and today I'm just going to be showing you how I made this skirt, which also doubles as a dress. The top of it has a nice sheared or gathered detailing, and the bottom is nice and flowy, so it's perfect for summer. The fabric I used for this skirt and dress was Viscose, for your reference, and I'm just starting by measuring around my waist. That measurement was 105 centimeters, and I made it 120 just to give me some extra room. But if I was going back to do this again, I would probably make it 130, just because the top of it is going to be gathered. I love working with Viscose because it is such a light and breathable material, and it's not too expensive either, so I think it's perfect for any small and easy projects. Moving on to measurement B, I wanted a thicker kind of waistband sheared area, so I folded over the top by 24 centimeters. I then took the fabric to the sewing machine and I sewed down the edges of only the folded part. I stopped at the end of the folded part. I did this to both sides of the fold, and I made sure to backstitch at the start and the end of the stitches so that it stayed in place. This is how it should look once you've sewn both sides of the fold. Now this is the most important part because it will make or break the project. I used a sewing chalk to mark out every 3 centimeters down the folded area, and this is so that when I'm using the elastic thread I will sew in a straight line. So they're just little guides to make sure that I sew in a straight line. To achieve the gathered and sheared effect, you have to use elastic thread in the bobbin area, and when you're doing this, make sure that you don't pull and make any tension whilst you're winding up the bobbin. And once you placed it back in the bobbin holder and on top is regular sewing thread, you're going to be left with something like this. My sewing machine settings for this was a regular straight stitch, and my thread tension was probably between 4 and 5, and I would also recommend that you use a wider stitch length just in case you need to unpick it if you make any mistakes whilst you're sewing. Once you get to the end of every line that you've used the elastic thread, I would just recommend tying the ends so that the thread doesn't become loose. Once I've sewn all the gathered lines, I'm just going to put both ends of the fabric together and sew along the edge so that they can meet. Just to note, I am still using the elastic bobbin at this point to sew along the edge of the folded area. Once I've finished sewing just the folded area, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to switch out the elastic bobbin back to the regular bobbin, and then I'm going to continue sewing down the edge of the flowing bottom portion of the skirt. And that's it. As you can see, it was such a simple DIY sewing project, which literally took me maybe 15 minutes max, and now you've got a skirt and a dress.